Hello again, Glitch Reaper here, and I'm here for another very special mod review. It's going to be one on inventory pets, which is a mod that I really enjoy a lot, and I'd like to get it out there that way too. So, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this, bizarrely enough, kind of in survival compared to normal. Mainly because it's kind of a good way of showing off the various abilities that the pets have. And I may decide to change modes here and there, but primarily I think this will be fine on survival because I think I can handle it. So, you know. Also, again, it really shows how much the pets do certain things over time in survival because they don't eat during creative. That's right, they actually eat. So for those who don't know, inventory pets are kind of a cross between items and pets. They exist in your inventory and or hotbar and do things for you, but they also consume food. And this is where a lot of things become very important, so I'll show off some of the basics, but also get into the pets themselves very quickly, because that's what I'm going to be trying to do this round. So, first off, you may notice that there are these little nugget-like items. They are in fact nuggets of different materials that you don't normally find in vanilla. Now, the mod actually used to add iron nuggets, but whenever they actually added that feature in 1.11.2, then eventually Purplicious Cow, who was the author of the mod, decided that he needed to kind of take that into account and finally take his out. So, yeah, you won't find duplicate nuggets because of that. So, a lot of modders had to deal with the fact that that actually became a vanilla item, which was kind of funny. Now, the thing is, for every one of these corresponding items, you have their normal form, and then you just receive them as a nugget. Now, there is a slight difference with coal nuggets. You get 8 of them. That's because they have an additional feature. Every time you pop a single one of these in a furnace, it gives you 1 smelting operation, just like coal. So it doesn't divide into 8 it doesn't divide into 9 like a normal nugget. It divides into 8. So that's something special here. Now, you can use them to make some of the pets, but you can also use them to get your coal back. Again, remember, it has this space because it isn't a set of 9 for one overall unit. It's a set of 8 because it's coal, which is a bit of a different story. Now, you also have the Obsidian Nugget. As you could imagine, this is based off of obsidian, and in case you're wondering why some of these recipes have dirt block in them as a duplicate, that's because he did that on purpose just to get around recipe conflicts without relying on the No More Recipe Conflict mod, just in case another mod added said nuggets. So he made sure that you'd always be able to get its own, which is something kind of important because the pets only recognize the corresponding nuggets. So that is one of the things that he had to take into account, and he did so in his own way. Now, we also have Lapis Nugget. As you can imagine, is lapis lazuli for 9 of them. We have the Ender Nugget. Now, this is, again, one of those times where that difference in contradiction really comes in handy, because I have seen other mods breaking down Ender Pearls into smaller units before. So in that case, that was a pretty good act of foresight, having a way of making sure the recipes don't contradict. Because normally you use an Ender Pearl to get 9 of these, but I have seen other mods that have a different input for an Ender Pearl before. So that would be definitely a thing. If you're wondering why items aren't flying around everywhere, I believe I do have underp hangables, which I have mentioned several times before, and now you can see its effect is things don't fly everywhere whenever you whack something that hangs like say an item frame or a portrait. So yeah, if you're wondering why that's more reliable, yeah, it's like an essential thing. Now, the Diamond Nugget is, as you'd imagine, a diamond for 9 of the nuggets. And, of course, we have the Emerald Nugget, which is, of course, you know, an emerald for 9 of them. Now, the reason why these are important is because they're used to feed your pets. And sometimes they're used in the crafting recipes. Now, another thing that you'll want as part of the basics of pet care in this mod is the feed bag. Now, in this exact version, its recipe isn't showing up correctly, so I decided to set up something that itself has a glitch involved, which is kind of a bit of random lol. Because this is a crafting station from Tinker's Construct 2, and in this particular version they will have it where all the things inside it show up visually on the top in addition to other players that are looking into it. at the time because it retains its items and puts them on display. Now, as an interesting side effect of this, it's kind of funny what that last item really is. It's a vanilla chest. For some odd reason, it's not showing up right visually. I mean, come on. It's supposed to be 6 leather, a string, a diamond, and a chest to get the feed bag item, but in this exact version of 1.12, it's not doing it right. I know that was corrected later, so don't worry. And earlier on, it didn't have a problem either, so in all likelihood, the version of inventory pets you'll be using will not have this issue. But I decided to go ahead and do it in this version because I thought that was kind of funny. Now, one thing that you'll need to note is all pets have different foods that they have and different abilities that they grant. Like, for example, here, I'll be showing off the ones that are based off peaceful mobs first, and I'll be moving on to others in different groups. Now, this is the chicken pet. So, bok bok bok, folks. Now, it gives you a speed boost, and it gives you eggs. Now, anything that... wait a moment, would I normally get that? Yep, that is speed boost 4. For a while I thought that something else was amplifying it. But no, it really is speed 4. Now, the thing is, it gives you eggs as well. And what that means is over time, if you have it in operation, it will literally give you that item as long as you have inventory space. So anything that says gives you and then that particular item, that is what you'll get. Now, another thing to note is the combination of how the feed bag works and your pets. So I'm going to show now how the feed bag normally works. First, by doing something from another mod, ironically, because I need myself a boatload of seeds. And this is just normal seeds, because that's his favorite food. It says favorite food seed, so always look out for that line with your pets. It'll tell you what their favorite food is. Now, if you want to make sure that you don't take up too much inventory space, that's what the bag is for. You can put it inside up to 9 slots in this bag. Now, you'll probably be spreading it out between different pets, although you can be extra supportive of one pet if you'd really like to be. Now, in this case, I'm basically feeding my chicken. The thing is, feed bags will, in fact, grant whatever food is placed in them to the pet that normally has it, that they like it, you know? So, this chicken likes seeds, so he'll look inside the bag for seeds or inside your inventory. Either way works, but it's easier with the bag because you can only take up a single slot and have all 9 slots worth of hotbar being taken care of in terms of your pet's foods, so it doesn't take up a good portion of your inventory. And note that this is primarily meant for food items, it's not necessarily meant for absolutely everything, although I guess in practice you could try. I haven't really tried doing it with unsupported items yet, but it is more practical to go along with. Now, so basically I have incredible speed, and over time, I'll be receiving eggs with a slight pop sound as you'd expect from a chicken. So, just with the chicken pet, you are very fast. Very, very fast. Even sideways and backwards. I mean, you could maneuver around the enemy and just dance around them, literally. Circles around a zombie. How incredible would that be? I mean, truly speaking, a lot of these pets really help out in combat. Now, we also have the sheep pet. This one gives you a slow fall ability and gives you wool. Now, its favorite food is wheat. Now, note that some of these will feed every so often, and some of them will just kind of feed on usage. So, I'm going to grant myself some wheat, put it in the bag. I do believe it is in fact working in this version. And now, I also have a slow fall ability. So, oh my goodness sakes, it stacks with the armor. It must multiply. Normally speaking, with this armor set, I would very slowly fall down. But with the slow fall of the sheep, it multiplies out where I'm actually so gradually falling you can barely even perceive it. That is ridiculously funny. I've got to remember which one. Okay, yep, it's the boots. But note how I still fell down very slowly in survival. That's because this thing grants you a slow fall. Okay, now it's actually triggering. There we go. For a while it actually multiplied. It must have took a moment to actually register that right. That's kind of funny. But either way, it grants you a slow fall ability so that you never take fall damage. And it also gives you wool over time. So that's the benefits of the sheep pet. And again, just keep them in your hotbar. because they won't grant you these abilities when they're just in the inventory. They may be inventory pets, but I guess you could say more realistically it's hotbar pets. Although just having them around is very useful, and you never know when you might need to switch up pets on the spot, so just having them in your inventory, or for that matter something else to keep them in, like another kind of backpack type item, or a shulker box, would be very handy. So make sure to keep your pets on hand in case you need to swap up for the situation. Darn lips. Well, I'm okay, that one wasn't as big of a deal. But now we have the cow pet. This one also likes wheat, and it has a very special effect. And yes, two pets that have the same favorite food can draw off the same stockpile inside a feed bag. They don't have to have separate slots, they just find whatever happens to be applicable. So now they're both basically considered fed. Now, this says removes negative potion effects, and it fills empty buckets with milk. So, if I were to grant myself an empty bucket, there'd be a chance over time of the bucket being filled with milk. There's also an interesting side effect of this that it might be funny to see. At least I think all of them are working, in fact, from the feed bag in this version, and that everything will be okay, because that seems to be a bit buggy in this version, but normally speaking it works. But, among other things, this means that I now will be able to have debuffs, like, say, wither and poison effects removed, and they'll do that practically constantly, as well as gradually filling my buckets with milk sometimes. I got wool! I got wool from my sheep pet. See, it's giving me things. Isn't that nice? So, I get myself some wool, and so my pets are in fact working. And as I said, it will go into any convenient slot. And it'll be easier to see if my hotbar has an opening, so I can put some of these items away, or at least to a more convenient location, just so that my pets will possibly grant me items into them. So, the power of the cow pet is definitely useful. And, oh yeah, I probably should go over the recipes of all of them. I just got right into them after this. Oops, sorry. But yeah, one thing that you may need to note is those EMC values are decently high for a reason. Most inventory pets require a diamond in their recipe. So, for chicken, it's a gold ingot, some seeds, feathers, the diamond. So, yeah. The diamond is definitely always going to be a thing, but over time that becomes a lot easier, especially with some of the other pets to help out. Now you also have sheep, which is wheat, wool, has to be white, gold, and a diamond. Okay, now one of them has just fed and granted me an egg. Namely, this is the chicken pet. Now, ones that give you a passive or gradual effect will just feed periodically. So that feeding sound was probably my chicken nibbling on some seeds. To check that for sure, I have to go into here. I was right. It was the chicken. And the chicken has also granted me an egg. So, that's another thing that seems to be working out perfectly fine. Now, the cow pet is basically a diamond, coal nuggets on one side, iron nuggets on the other, wheat, and a gold ingot. So, again, you'll need to use some of these things for the recipes. So keep in mind the nuggets are both for food and recipes. Now, I haven't shown one that feeds on nuggets yet, but that will come up. Now we have a mushroom pet. It has a special ability that whenever you click on plants, you get a bone meal effect. And it fills empty bowls with mushroom stew, which is definitely interesting in and of itself. Now, note that you don't have to find a mushroom island to be able to get this particular pet. You just need some iron nuggets, some redstone, gold ingot, diamond, and either of the mushrooms. So, despite the fact that this is a mob that normally speaking you'd encounter only in a very particular biome, you don't need to go there. So, don't worry about having to find mycelium to get yourself a mushroom pet. At least a type of mushroom pet anyhow. Either way, they're very nice. Now, because of that special ability, I will go ahead and grab myself a bowl. Aha! My sheep just activated. Because I'd just like to show this filling. So they're definitely piling up on me quickly. And because I'm on 1.12 plus, it's also showing off different things that recipes will work with. So that's actually kind of interesting in and of itself. Now we have the pig pet. It gives you bonus hunger saturation from anything that you feed on. allows you to eat poisoned foods, like, for example, poisonous potatoes, rotten flesh, raw chicken, possibly pufferfish, and things like that, as well as it gives you pork chops. And its favorite food is a carrot. Now, the mushroom pet's favorite food is a mushroom, so you just remember you're not going to have everything be wheat that's an animal. Remember, breeding rules have kind of changed, but not just that, but also sometimes it's just about thematic effect, like the mushroom eats mushrooms even though you normally breed a mushroom with wheat. Pigs, on the other hand, do in fact breed with carrots. Cows breed with carrots. Sheep breed sorry. Dang it. It happens. Cow pet cows breed with wheat. I'm going too fast. Let me take a breath here. Okay. I was trying to get this all done in a rush. Not a good idea. Anyhow, pigs breed with carrots. Mushrooms breed with wheat, but this one eats mushrooms because it's special. Cows breed with wheat. Sheep breed with wheat. And chickens, in fact, eat seeds. So you can tell kind of thematically what they're going to eat if they're one of the regular mob pets. So that kind of helps out. Okay, back to things, now that I've kind of caught my breath there. We have an Ocelot pet. It gives you night vision normally. It scares away creepers and catches fish when it's near water. I mean, like, if you're actually in water, it will literally pull out fish for you. And just normal fish, not like salmons or other things, as far as I know. But I've only ever really seen them pull out regular fish. But you literally, like, stand in water and they give you fish. The fact that they actually scare off creepers is kind of funny. But it's also very appropriate because, regularly speaking, ocelots and cats scare away creepers. And that's one thing that you can do here, is you can use this to get creepers to go away from you even if you don't know that they're there. So if they're sneaking up on you, they'll literally just walk the other way. And their favorite food is cooked fish. So because of that, I need to grab myself a few extra things for my feed bag. Oh, and the milk is ready. It has filled it. And the funniest thing is it actually makes it go in a stack. That's what I was building up to. Is it'll actually fill them all at once if they're in a stack. So that's just kind of funny. Now that that's... Oh, that was a visual thing. For a while it was one way and that was the other. That was weird. But anyhow, I do need a stack of carrots for my pig. So, carrots. And I also need some kind of mushroom. So, mush. Room. There we go. And I can just toss that in here. Oh yeah, it's not shift clicking in this time. Oh well. It'll be perfectly fine. Also get my Ocelot here, a stack of cooked fish. So, I'm going to feed my Ocelot pet as well. And again, they'll all be able to from this one slot, so that makes it really convenient to have this feed bag. So, little Ocelot, just make sure that you can help me out with all this stuff, okay? But yeah, whenever you're crafting one of these, it's actually going to be several gold nuggets, a gold ingot, a diamond, but either a raw or cooked fish. A note, it says that they eat cooked fish, although I have seen them eat raw fish on occasion. But I'm not sure if that was scripted right. I think that may have been a fluke, so therefore it may be that the true food is, as in this version, cooked fish. So, yes. Please feed your Ocelot. Now, the last one on the list... They're nibbling. They're nibbling. The last one on this list is the Squid Pit. The Squid Pit really helps with water. It grants you unlimited water breathing. It boosts your vision while you're underwater, gives you a swim speed boost, and if you're using it, you can in fact sneak to go underwater quickly. So let's just show off a little bit of what this can do. I am really fast now. This is a combination of all my armor and effects, as well as my my pet allowing me to move like, just insanity. And the vision boost underwater stacks with night vision, so you see super clear if you have both. So that's something else to keep in mind. Now also remember that because I'm in the water, and for that matter close to it, there's a chance that my Ocelot will give me a fish. I do believe that's been slowed down in recent versions, so it's probably not going to trigger right now, so I may not worry about it so much because I know it's probably not going to show up whenever I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm going to fly myself back over here. And these are basically some of these very nice, peaceful pets. They're all based on peaceful mobs, and they all have interesting abilities. Oh, again, getting ahead of myself on things. But when it comes to, I just really like showing off the squid because it makes you swim like a boss. So again, I got ahead of myself on that one, but that's okay. But yeah, some Lapis Nuggets, gold ingot, a diamond, and a raw fish. Remember, its favorite food is raw fish. So if I need to give this one some food, it would be able to be raw fish here. So, fish. It's kind of funny. I can just do it this way. Sometimes it's actually easier than creative to do that, actually. So yeah, I must remember that does not shift click in this version. Why? Why are you not working with shift click? Oh well. Ah, got a pork chop from my big pet. The prophecy has come true. So even just this is getting very useful. Now, I will be going to these normally hostile mobs next, actually. Although first, I will probably put up some of my pets because they're getting, or well, at least some things I can put up. Because I'm not going to need absolutely everything here. So, let's see here. I'm going to throw a few things this way. And, I don't need my building wands right now. Those are very convenient, but at the same time, I don't need it all. Okay, I just need to clear inventory so that I can make sure to have all my pets shown off easily whenever I need to. So there we go. Just a moment. Okay, I'm back. Now I'm going to move on to the mob pets. And these are all based on various other creatures that aren't exactly peaceful. Now, a couple of them are technically golems. So I wouldn't exactly call that hostile. But that's why it says mob rather than hostile. And these are categorized. Like you may notice whenever you look under here, it actually says peaceful. And in green. Now each of these categories, each has its own color. And one of them, as I'm going to show later, doesn't show up very well. So it kind of makes it a little weird that way. Now, most of these mob pets are also quite useful. Now we have the Magma Cube Pit. Its favorite food is nether quartz. And making this one, it requires some redstone, a gold ingot, a diamond, and a gold nugget. But it gives you fire resistance and the ability to walk on lava. So you are basically fireproof whenever you have this Magma Cube Pet. And that is incredibly handy, especially if you're going to be going through the nether. Now note that its crafting recipe did not require anything from the nether itself. Although, feeding it does. Now some of these have a certain amount of time before they actually really require food, so it gives you a bit of a grace period. One thing you could do is you could raid into the nether fast and grab yourself some nether quartz as fast as you can to make sure that it keeps being fed. But seeing how nether quartz is quite common, it should be really easy to find some in time. Now we have the Blaze Pet. This one grants you a strength boost, and it's straight up strength. It's not like 3 or 4 or something like that. And you have fire damage on attack. This means you will literally roast things. So yeah, I don't see anything around here that needs to be cooked, but that is on attack with both melee and ranged. And this does actually stack with some of the other pet abilities. So one of the things you can do is you can actually use this in combination with one of the special ones later, and it's kind of funny how well that works out. So yeah, some of these get kind of ridiculous because they can give you the ability to have the effect trigger on range. I think that's still true now. I know it was whenever I last really used one of these for that particular effect. And its favorite food is also nether quartz, so remember, they can share slots in the feed bag as long as it's the same thing, and they'll draw off the same source, but they'll also feed off it at their own independent rates. So anything that has a usability will use it up quicker, and all their passive rates will apply. Now, the blaze pet, to make it, just requires some gold in various forms, because you need nuggets, you need an ingot, you need a diamond, and you need some nether quartz. So unlike this Magma Cube Pet here, you will require something directly from the nether to actually make this. Unless, of course, you have other mods that help out with that. Now, we will also move on to the spider pet. So, spider mod, does whatever spider mod does. Yeah, that never gets old. So, I'm just doing a Spider-Man logo switch, just for fun. Oh, kind of. I mean, it is the spider pit. But this gives you the ability of a jump boost, a wall climb ability. You can hang on a wall by sneaking, and it gives you string over time. Its favorite food is raw meat. And I don't remember whether or not that includes raw fish, so I will just grab some raw pork chops and put that into the feed bag. So now I will show off what this does in terms of walls. This isn't step assist, folks. That is honestly going up a wall. Although it seems to contradict the armor. Okay. Okay, so now this shows it. So I can climb up walls. So yes. But yeah, you kind of have to hold the direction that you're trying to climb and shift to really hold onto it, so it can be a bit tricky. And I still need to put up that that one's okay here. It'll be fine. I have enough room. But anyhow. But yeah, you get jump boost, you get the wall climb ability, and that is jump boost 4, so that is pretty good. And you also get to climb on walls, gives you string, so spider pets are really fun. Now we will, oh wait a minute, what was that? Oh yeah, coal nuggets, a gold ingot, a diamond, and any raw meat. I guess that means it would in fact take raw fish, because I think those are all meats that it'll eat. Seems to not like rabbit for some reason. That's kinda weird. Just a moment. I keep having interruptions with this, despite the fact I have a sign clearly up. Oh well. Okay, moving right along. I would like to show the nice Enderman pet. Now this one is also very special. It allows you to teleport in various ways. Now, this will be in the direction you're looking, and you may also auto-teleport when your health is low. So if you're under heavy assault, this one might just get you out of the way. Now, its favorite food is an Obsidian Nugget. And it also takes one to make, so you'll need an Obsidian Nugget, some coal nuggets, a diamond, and a gold ingot. And again, that whole thing is a theme with most of these, so yeah. Now again, remember that says Obsidian Nugget. So, let's go a little bit here. Feed the Enderman. Okay, now let me show off the teleportation a bit. See, it's completely in the direction you're looking. Like, it may even just be like so many particular... Zip. So... And at 8B, and that was use-based, as I was trying to demonstrate, that sometimes it's based on whenever you use the pet so many times in terms of its power. So that was a pretty good way of demonstrating that, actually. I like doing that a lot. Now, I'm also going to, well, I'll have to move a few things, because I'm going to have a lot of these pets to deal with in a moment. So, yeah. Next up is the Ghast pet. This one, its favorite food is blaze powder. Yeah, not gunpowder like you'd expect from it, blaze powder. It allows you to shoot fireballs, just like a ghast, whenever you right-click. And to be able to make it, you need 6 nether quartz, a blaze powder, a diamond, and a gold ingot. I don't know if I want to actually fuel this one up right now. That power can be a bit destructive. I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that. So, yeah, I'll just give myself a few other slots and move along. I mean, you could probably imagine just chucking a fireball and me accidentally blowing away something I don't intend to. So, I'm not going to do that right now. Well, then again, can I see any okay, I do have some targets. So, let me go ahead and make myself a bit of blaze powder here. I'm going to probably just keep that in there to show it can feed either way. And I'm going to destroy a few squid just for good measure. And yes, that can cruise underwater. So, and it flies pretty straight. Can I snipe from that distance? Yes. Yes, I can. That squid did not know what hit it. So, yeah. Can I at least launch another one just to even this out? Because I think it's every 3 uses for this one in particular. Nope, I've gotten rid of all the squid. Really? Not even one. No other squid. No other squid in this entire realm right now that I can see to launch a shot at. Although, what's that over there? That is not a creature. Wait, there are squids. There are squids, so... I was bobbing up and down at the time. But at least fed, showing again use-driven effect in terms of feeding. And as you can see, it ate a blaze powder. So you can see it can draw from inventory or the feed bag really nicely. And in that case, that showed that if you need some ammo, classic bow and arrow style, it will work. Now, moving right along, we have a snow golem pet. This one is made, ironically, out of a lot of nether quartz. A pumpkin, a diamond, and a gold ingot. Now, the thing is, you don't actually make your snow golem pet out of snow, which you would really expect. Its favorite food is a pumpkin, but it gives you snowballs, so it still relates to a snow golem, as usual. Now, its special ability is it grants knockback with all hits. That is regardless of whether or not it is melee or ranged, so that is actually particularly handy to have along. So, yeah, and as before, this will give you snowballs. Well, that one just gave me string, so the funny timing of that has nothing to do with it. That was the wrong pet. That was my spider pet going off, so, yeah. Now, at this point, I have to figure out whether or not I want to actually keep fueling up one of these, because I'm not necessarily using them all right now. And this is where having the feed bag is very important, because you can use it as an additional reserve, and you can use your inventory, so eventually you have to manage your inventory space with this mod even more so than normal. And that's because you can, if you want to be very powerful and have a lot of abilities from your pets, you can very quickly get out of control in your inventory. I can, however, toss that for now, since I'm not necessarily going to actually get to show off that particular ability from my mushroom pet. But, yeah, so if you want a little extra knockback with everything, you can give yourself a snow golem pet, and it'll also give you some snowballs. So, yeah, that can come in very handy. And of course, the snowballs you can also use as ammo for the effect in another way. It grants everything, ranged or melee, extra knockback. So, if I were to, say... Let me see if I angle myself with this particular squid. Okay. Let's say I give myself a snowball. Just to show off how this works. Now, let's see, can I in fact hit this squid from here? Well, I can get closer. Or will I hit the water? And line up. Nope, I hit the water. I was wondering about that. Oh, now you're close enough that I can... See, I get that much knockback, and I kind of burn him a bit because of my other effects. He burned to death and had knockback. Yeah, that was impressive there. and that was just because the effects of my Snow Golem pet and my Blaze pet working together. And I didn't even get to use the ranged effect. Oh well. I mean, I kind of tried, but at the same time, I guess I can show that off a bit more later. Now let's go to the Iron Golem pet. This one is not necessarily as expensive as you'd think for an Iron Golem. Now, it gives you a temporary shield effect, and its favorite food is an iron ingot. Not a nugget, an ingot. So if you want to give this one some food, you'll have to do it in ingot form. Not all of them will feed off the lowest amount, like, oh, say, nuggets. So you have to keep that in mind. So again, always look for what their favorite food is. Now, it will take you, as again, a bit of iron for, well, an iron golem pet. You'd expect that. But you need iron nuggets, an iron ingot, a diamond, and a gold ingot. So, it's not as expensive as you'd think. I mean, ironically, this isn't as expensive in terms of iron as a regular iron golem, so depends. Do you want one to be your companion in your pocket, or do you want it to lumber around and attack things directly? Now, the special effect, the temporary shield, is basically an absorption hearts thing. But as you can see, it's pretty big. That's basically absorption 5, in case you're keeping track. And apparently it does it for approximately 2 minutes. And it's a high enough effect that it's not actually showing the amount. Because I just got 10 hearts, and that's obviously a lot more than usual. Now, some of these abilities have cooldowns, but that one doesn't. So you can refresh that shield very quickly if you need to. As you can see, that's a pretty big bonus. Now, the here we go with that special last one. You may have seen me use this one in action before, in a situation or two. This is the Creeper Pit. Now, making this requires emerald nuggets, a diamond, a gold ingot, and gunpowder. Now, their favorite food is gunpowder, which is kind of as you'd expect for a creeper. But at the same time, you're doing it in a special form. I heard something happen. Aww. Did it not feed correctly off these? So sometimes that also happens. Hello? You have pumpkins. Oh, that's the wrong pumpkin. Forgot I had gargoyles in here. I need a regular pumpkin. But don't worry, folks. It's all fine. Because whenever you have the proper item in, if they haven't fed yet, they'll immediately feed on it. So, it's perfectly fine. It's okay. So yes, see, it all works out that way. Now, the thing about the creeper pet, as I was going to show, is, for one thing, you are immune to explosions. So, that alone is handy. If you're up against creepers, the best thing to do is have a creeper pet. Also, whenever you hit right-click, you explode. This doesn't harm you because, remember, it gives you immunity to explosions. Additionally, this hits as an area attack. So, if I were to go out here and blow up close to these guys, I can just wipe them out fast. And remember, this is use-based, so after I do this so many times, then I will have him feed, and this is an automatic thing. So I'll just run over here and try to blow up this particular one. Is he too far down? Because this fills a pretty good radius. And now he's blown up too. So I was able to safely show off the creeper pet without blowing myself up, which, well, it gives me immunity to that, but I mean without blowing up something else important, like, again, my item frames. Thank you, squids, for being so incredibly presently available. That really came in handy for this demonstration. I mean, thank you very much, Creeper Pet, and for that matter, Purplicious Cow. So yeah, that was very convenient. Now that is the last of the mob pets. I've shown off the peaceful pets, and I will be moving along next into the utility and area pets. But that's for another moment. So I'll leave off temporarily here and be back in a moment with the rest of it. So this will be kind of a multi-part special. So, bye for, this is Glitch Reaper. I hope to hear from you all later. So bye for now, everybody.